Today we're going to begin in child's pose. So take your hands up, your hips back, big toes together, knees wide apart. You can fold your arms, rest your head on your arms, or stretch your arms out and rest your forehead on the floor. You want to be fairly comfortable, so take your knees wide. And start to breathe in and out through your nose with your mouth closed. Begin to expand your breath into your belly, so your belly inflates with your inhales and relaxes with your exhales. Take one more deep belly breath here. And then with your inhale, we're going to come up to tabletop. Bring your hips towards your left wrist, and then circle around towards your right wrist, and then push back to child's pose. As you inhale again, circle back the other way, so right wrist to left wrist, and then push your way to child's pose. Inhale as you come forward, and exhale as you push back. Inhale, and exhale. And let's go one more time each way. So inhaling, circling left to right. And inhaling, circling right to left. Pushing back to child's pose. And then coming right into tabletop, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Inhale, curl the toes under, draw the belly down, bring the chest forward, gaze forward. Exhale, flatten the feet, press the spine up, tuck the chin, tuck the hips. Continue for a few rounds, inhaling to cow. Exhaling to cat. Coordinating your breath and your movement together. And take one more full breath cycle. One more inhale. One more exhale. And then come back to a neutral position. Tuck your toes under, lift up your knees, and press into downward facing dog. Pedal your legs a few times. And then the next time you inhale, lift your heels away from the floor, coming onto the balls of the feet. Exhale, press your heels down. Bend your knees and walk your hands back to your feet. So coming to the back of your mat, take your elbows, come into ragdoll, tuck your chin, let your arms hang heavy, let your legs soften at the knees, let your head hang. One more belly breath. And release your elbows. With your knees bent, curl your chin to your chest, curl your spine, come up to standing one vertebrae at a time. Trying to feel movement in every vertebrae, coming all the way up. And once you get all the way up to standing, bring your hands to your chest. Find a gazing point in front of you. Go back to belly breathing here. And then create some hollow space in the back of your throat by touching the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth. Notice how that changes the shape in the back of your throat. And then keeping that shape in your throat, let your tongue come down, maintaining that hollow back of the throat. and begin to breathe through that space. Gently forcing air through the back of your throat, like wind through a tunnel. And that's Ujjayi Pranayama, or victory breath. The next time you inhale, sweep your arms overhead, reach through all 10 fingers. Bring your palms to face in, shoulder blades drawing down the back. We're going to bend the right elbow, take the left hand to the right elbow, lean gently to the left side. Stay for one full breath. Face is forward, chest is forward, belly is forward. Inhale, come back to center, separate the arms, bend the left elbow, take the left elbow with the right hand, lean to the right. Take a big breath on this side. And then inhale, come back to the top, separate the hands. Exhale, swan dive, fold forward, bend your knees as you go, and walk your way out to downward facing dog. Press the chest back toward the thighs. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Stay for a breath. And at the end of your exhale this time, bring your gaze forward. And we'll walk the feet up this time. So bringing the feet up toward the hands. Coming back into ragdoll here. Take the elbows, tuck the chin, bend the knees a little bit. Option to sway the upper body if you want some movement. Just loosening up the neck and the head and the spine. Take a full breath. As you exhale, let it go. Release your elbows at the end of the breath. Soften your knees, long spine. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Come all the way up. Tap the palms together at the top of the breath. Exhale, bring your hands to your chest. Gaze comes forward. On your inhale here, sweep your arms back up. And this time, exhale, swan dive, fold back down. Taking your hands to the floor, step the right foot to runner's lunge. Let the hips drop. Keep the right leg really strong and straight. Reach your heart forward so your gaze comes up to the top of your mat. Your neck is long and straight, your spine is long. And we'll keep the right hand down, reach the left arm up, twisting to the left side. Keep your right leg really strong. Try to keep the hips low. Take another full breath. And then as you exhale here, two hands down, go ahead and release the right knee, untuck the toes, reach the arms overhead. Draw the shoulder blades down the back. Gaze forward, all 10 fingers reaching up, sinking the hips forward and down just a little bit. And then we'll take the left hand to the right wrist, circle the thumb and finger around the right wrist, and then lean gently to the left side. Taking a little side bend in our lunge, draw the right shoulder back, maybe look up past the right elbow, press into the top of the right foot to find your balance. Stay for one more big breath. And then face forward, inhale, stretch the arms back overhead. Exhale, plant the hands, tuck your right toes, lift your right knee. We're going to sweep the left leg through to three-leg dog. So as the left leg reaches up, keep your hips square, flex your left foot so 5 toes point down toward the ground. Take one more belly breath. And then as you exhale here, curl the left knee into the chest. We're going to kick the left leg under the right arm. Reach the right arm up and come up to this funky little side plank. Reaching past the right fingertips, lift the hips high, take a big breath. And then as you exhale, right hand comes down, unwind the legs, come forward to plank. Option to take knees, chest, and chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, lift into cobra or up dog. And then exhale, press to downward facing dog. Option to pedal the legs a few times here. Find that release in the ankles and the calves and the hamstrings. And then the next time you inhale, lift your heels high. Exhale, press the heels low. And then same thing, we're going to walk the hands back to the feet. Take the elbows, come back into ragdoll, tuck your chin, let your head hang heavy. And this time, if you like, reach your right elbow towards your right big toe. And then your left elbow toward your left big toe. Maybe the knees bend a little bit as you're doing this. That's okay. And then just come back to center. Let the arms go. Tuck your chin to your chest. Curl your spine. Come all the way back up to standing slowly. No rush here. Taking your time, coming all the way up. And at the top, bring your hands back to your chest. Find Ujjayi Pranayama again. So find that constriction in the back of your throat. Begin to pass your breath through that space in the back of your throat. Still expanding your breath to your belly. Take another Ujjayi breath here. And then as you inhale again, reach your arms back overhead. And this time as you exhale, take your right hand to the side of your body to your right thigh. Stretch a little taller through the left fingertips. Lean sideways to the right, letting the right hand reach down the side of the leg. Maybe the hips poke out to the left a little bit, getting a deeper side bend. One full breath. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, release the left arm down. Stretch a little taller through the right side. Lean to the left, reaching the left hand down the left leg. Gaze forward, take a big breath. And then inhale, come back up to center. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Bend your knees as you go. Walk your way back out to downward facing dog. Index fingers pointing forward, elbows tucking in. Chest is pressing a little bit toward the legs. Maybe the knees are soft, maybe they're straight. Take another big belly breath here. As you exhale, look forward to your hands and then walk your feet up to your hands. One more time to ragdoll. So last chance here for ragdoll. I'll give you one last option. You can continue to hold the elbows, or you could lace the hands together. Take the hands to the back of the head, so just above the base of the neck. And so we're not really pulling on the head, we're just resting the hands there, encouraging the weight of the head toward the floor. Keep the knees bent as much as you need to, and stay for another full belly breath. Release the arms, soften the knees, long spine. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. Exhale, hands to chest, gaze forward. Take a quiet breath in mountain pose. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Big breath as you reach. Exhale, swan dive again and fold. Fingertips to the floor, and we'll step the left foot to runner's lunge. So as you step back, make sure the right knee stacks over the right ankle. If you need to adjust that, make that adjustment now. We want to keep that right knee safe. Left leg is really strong. Start to gaze forward. Reach your heart forward so your spine is really long. Left hand stays down. Right arm reaches up. As you did that, notice if you let your hips pop up. And if you did, drop your hips down again. Strong through those right fingertips. One more full breath here. Exhale, right hand comes down. Go ahead and sink the left knee, untuck the toes, sweep the arms overhead, parallel position with the arms. So the palms are facing in, pinkies forward, thumbs back. We're really actively reaching through the fingertips, but actively drawing the shoulders down. Press into the top of the left foot, and then we'll take the right thumb and first finger to the left wrist and lean sideways to the right. So chest is forward, hips are forward. Option to lift your gaze. Find your balance by pressing into the top of the left shin. Stay for a breath. And then inhale, come back to center. Separate the hands. Exhale, frame the right foot. Tuck the left toes, lift the left knee. We're going to three-leg dog. Right leg goes high. Flex your foot. 5 toes point to the floor. Stay for a big breath. And then as you exhale here, curl the right knee into the chest, kick the right leg under the left arm, drop 2 heels, reach the left arm up, finding that side plank, hips are high, gaze to the left thumb, one more full breath. Exhale, unwind, take the legs back to the back of the mat, Option to stay in plank, drop knees, chin and chest, or chaturanga. Inhale to up dog, and exhale to down dog. Take 2 full belly breaths here. One more big breath. And then we'll do the same pattern here. So we're going to walk the hands back to the feet. Hook the big toes with the first 2 fingers. If you can't reach the big toes, hold the fronts of the shins or the ankles or the tops of the feet. If you have the big toes, begin to pull on the big toes. Keep the knees slightly bent if you need to. Tuck your chin so your head hangs. Flare your elbows sideways. And then once you get as deep as you can into that forward fold, surrender just a little bit. So let go, soften, find your breath. Last big breath here. And then release the big toes. Let the arms hang, bend the knees, curl the spine up to standing slowly, 1 vertebrae at a time. Head comes up last, hands to chest. Find your gazing point. Shift your weight into your left foot. We're going to angle the right knee open and bring the right foot up to tree. So the right foot can stay against the left ankle or the calf or the inner thigh, or bring the heel up into the groin. Turn your belly button forward. Keep finding that gazing point. And if you're struggling to balance, keep your hands right at your chest. If your balance is solid and you feel like you can progress, take your arms overhead, separate your palms, and we're going to take the right thumb and first finger to the left wrist and take a little lean to the right side. So it's creating a little space in the left rib cage. If you have your balance and you feel steady, you might be able to lift your gaze over your left shoulder or your left elbow. 1 more breath here. And then inhale, come back up to the top, float the right foot down, bring the arms back down by your sides, bring your hands to your heart. And we'll try the other side. So shift your weight into your right foot, bring your left foot up to tree. Begin to turn your belly forward even at the same time as you're opening that left knee out to the left side. Find your gazing point. Option to keep the hands low or reach the arms up. Draw the shoulder blades down, and we'll take the left thumb and first finger to the right wrist. Lean to the left. Option just to keep your gaze forward. That might help you stay in your balance. Or you can start to lift your eyes past your right elbow. Might lose your balance there. Just take a breath. Inhale, come back to the top. Exhale, 2 feet down, 2 arms down. Come back into that parallel position, hands to chest. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, swan dive to forward fold. Walk your way back out to downward facing dog. Press the chest to the thighs. Bend the knees if you need to. Roll the shoulders down and the elbows in. Stay for 1 more breath. And then as you exhale, look forward. Either walk the feet forward or jump the feet forward, coming back into big toe. Holding up the toes with your first 2 fingers. Tuck your chin, flare the elbows. Stay for a breath. Maybe start to straighten the knees just a little bit, finding a little more range. And then release the big toes. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Big breath as you rise. Exhale, hands to chest. Bring your gaze forward. Inhale, reach the arms back up. Keep your abdominals strong. Exhale, swan dive and fold. And then again, on your inhale, we're going to step the right foot to runner's lunge. Keep the right heel high. Start to lighten up the fingertips. And we're going to sweep the arms up, coming up to crescent lunge. So as you bend into the left knee, square the shoulders forward, square the hips forward. Find that same gazing point if you can. We'll take a side bend here. Left hand to the right wrist. Lean to the left. Option to lift the gaze. Strong right leg. So really engage the right quads. Take a big breath. And then inhale, come back on center. Separate the hands. And as you exhale, we're going to frame the left foot. Sweep the left leg high. Coming back to three-leg dog. Flex 5 toes toward the floor. Stay for one more breath. And then squeeze your left knee into your chest. We're going to plant the left foot between the hands. Drop the right heel. Circle the right arm back and come all the way up to warrior two. Sink into the left knee. The left knee is moving over the middle of the foot. Relax your shoulders. Lift your chest. Start to draw your right shoulder back. So the right shoulder should sit behind the left shoulder. From here, flip your palms forward. And we're going to hinge sideways so the legs stay the same. Hinge sideways, reaching the left hand to the inner thigh, the inner calf, or maybe the inner ankle. But you just want to be careful to keep your chest open, keep your right leg really strong, so tight right quads, and draw the right shoulder over the left shoulder. Stay for another breath. Inhale, rise up, warrior two. Flip your left palm up, and then tip backward to peaceful warrior. So the right hand on the right leg, left arm overhead. Stay for one big belly breath here. And then inhale, come back up to warrior two. And as you exhale, cartwheel the hands around the left foot. Step back to plank, option to hold your plank or chaturanga. Inhale to up dog, and exhale to down dog. One more belly breath here. And then last transition to the back of your mat. So walk your hands back. And so on this transition, we'll slip the hands underneath the soles of the feet. So if you can't quite reach the feet, you could always come back into holding the shins or the tops of the ankles, or you could always come back to ragdoll. If you're sliding your palms under your soles, point your toes toward the creases in your wrist. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Maybe shift a little body weight into the balls of your feet. And giving those wrists a little release from all that flexion and downward dog. Let your head go. Take another breath. And then release the hands. Tuck your chin. Let your arms hang. Curl your spine up to standing. One vertebra at a time. Take your time coming up. And once you get all the way up, shoulders back and down, hands to your chest. Find that gazing point. Take one big breath here. And then on your inhale, sweep your arms overhead again. As you exhale, we're going to fold the right arm under the left arm. So the right arm under, the elbows are going to cross, and then you're just going to press the backs of the hands together. From here, we're going to sit back like we're sitting in a chair. We're going to pick up the right leg and cross the right leg over the left leg. So this is eagle. Lift your elbows a little higher. Turn your knees and your elbows toward the front of your mat. Stay for one more breath. And then break it all open. Inhale, sweep the arms up. We'll go straight to the other side. So as you exhale, left elbow under the right elbow. Press the backs of the hands together. Sit back like you're sitting in a chair. Bend your knees, bend your elbows, bend your knees, bend your hips. Cross your left leg over, and then squeeze your knees together, squeeze your elbows together, and try to bring everything toward the front of your mat. Stay for a breath. And then inhale, break it all open. Exhale, float the arms down, hands to chest. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, swan dive and fold. Walk your way back to downward facing dog. Press your chest toward your thighs. Bend the knees if you need to. Stay for a full breath. As you exhale, look to your hands, walk or jump, feet right behind the hands. Let your head go. We're going to come back into a hand under foot, so sliding palms under soles. Could be ragdoll, could be any forward fold. Take 2 full breaths. And then release your grip. Soften your knees, long spine, inhale, reverse swan dive. Exhale, hands to heart, gaze comes forward. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, swan dive and fold. With your inhale, left foot to runner's lunge. So as you sink down, remember we're going to keep the fingertips really light. Start to lean away from the floor, reaching the chest up, lifting into crescent lunge. Sink into the hips. Turn the belly button forward, draw the shoulder blades down, just a breath here. And then we'll take the right hand to the left wrist, lean gently to the right side. Option to look up over the left elbow. One breath here. Inhale, come back on center, separate the hands. Exhale, frame the right foot. We're going back to 3-leg dog, so reach the right leg high. 5 toes point to the floor, take a breath. And then squeeze the right knee into the chest, step the right foot through, dial the left heel down. We're going to circle the left arm back, come all the way up, warrior 2. So one thing here about warrior 2, make sure that front knee is not dropping in, but pressing out toward the pinky toe. Start to draw the left shoulder back, so the left shoulder stacks behind the right shoulder. Just another breath, strong left leg. Flip your palms forward, and then right hand goes to the inside of the right leg. So it might reach into the knee, it might reach into the calf or the ankle, but we do want to keep the chest open, the left arm reaching to the ceiling. Stay for one more breath. And then inhale, rise up, warrior 2. Turn your right palm up, tip back to peaceful warrior. Big stretch on the right side. Take a big breath. Inhale, warrior 2. As you exhale, cartwheel the hands around the right foot. Step back to downward facing dog. Option for your vinyasa if you want it. We'll meet in downward dog. Just take 2 full breaths here. And on that second breath, go ahead and release your knees to the floor. Sit your hips back to your heels, coming back to child's pose, letting the forehead rest on the floor or resting the forehead on the arms. Close your eyes here. Start to feel the rise and fall of your breath. Feel your breath moving through your body. See if you can slow everything down. Take 3 more long, slow, full belly breaths. And then with your inhale, lift your way up to tabletop. Scoot your knees closer together. Walk back, take a seat on your heels. Thanks for joining me. Namaste.